I think it's really important that everyone has like their group of people to ride with. I was really lucky. I kind of stumbled upon mine like accidentally, but I think that's hard to find for some people. And so I really want to encourage like not just riding, but hanging out with the people that you rode with that day. And I want to see people make those new friendships and have new people to go riding with after the weekend is really important to me. So that's why I try and encourage everyone to like stick around and have fun.
I am so excited that today we're sitting down with the amazing photographer, Carolyn Genovese. And we have a few topics that we're going to talk about, but most importantly, we're going to talk about the Bear Creek Ladies Dirt Bike Campout that is happening September 16th and 17th. And so make sure you mark your calendars, you buy your tickets. There will be a link in the show notes. And listen in on what Carolyn has to say. So let's dive in and I'll catch you on the other side. It's funny because I think you and I had the conversation of Shambhala because all of a sudden I got a bunch of TikToks showing up of like Shambhala, and I'm like, not once did I even like say it out loud.
Yeah.
Those phones, they're sneaky.
I was gonna say they know they're watching us.
Totally. Okay, well, I'm gonna start it off. So hey, hi, hello, and welcome to Brat Babes Throttle Talk, and I'm Angelisa. And today we are talking with Carolyn. Now, Carolyn, is it Genovese?
It's Genovese, yeah.
Genovese. Okay. I feel like I butcher names all the time, but I'm glad I got that right. So I am very excited to be talking with you. We have a few topics, but let's get to know you a little bit better. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Carolyn. I'm, I guess, technically now a professional photographer. I do a lot of dirt biking. A whole lot of dirt biking. And then I am a mom. My daughter is almost 3 years old. I live in Kelowna BC. And yeah, it's been an awesome little ride for me in the last kind of 5 years here.
For sure. Okay, it's Lily, right?
Lily, yeah.
When is her birthday?
August 15th. So she's 3 and kind of 2.5 weeks here.
Wow, that is amazing. So many changes, I'm sure.
Yeah. And she's like full of beans and has lots to say these days. So it's been just so much fun. The last like year has been awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I find every stage is like so beautiful, so unique, but like the older they get and the more that they can communicate with you, it just becomes a little more fun.
Yeah, I keep thinking I'm like, oh, this is like the funnest stage yet. And then she'll do something new and I'm like, this is even better.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I did want to talk to you about when you said photography full time, that like it's one of our topics. Tell me a little bit about that. You were working and then you announced, I think it was in the fall, that you were going to be doing this full time.
Yeah, it was March.
Okay.
That kind of happened. So
Okay.
it's still pretty fresh.
Okay. Yeah. I got my
Really,
times wrong.
it's all good. Yeah, so kind of what happened was I started photography like five years ago, kind of the same time I started dirt biking. And I didn't ever want it to be my full-time job. I think I told everyone when they asked me like, if are you going to do it full time one day? I think I said no for like a really long time. Then kind of 2 years ago, probably it just clicked and I was like, no, this is what I want to do. And then March this year, like I worked in professional sales for 12 years and just working for big corporations. And I had a really awesome job, but things kind of changed with my daycare. And I saw it as my chance to break the golden handcuffs, I guess.
Mhm.
Because I don't think I would have left by my own. Oh, we're getting a pickles visit there.
Good.
I don't think I would have left kind of under my own power just because I was comfortable and I had awesome coworkers and I worked for a great company. Here we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, when daycare situation changed, it was kind of like made me rethink everything. And I was like, well, I can do this full time. Like there's nothing really stopping me.
Mhm.
And I broke away and decided to do my own thing. And so far it's been like super awesome. I'm so
Oh,
bad at it.
yeah. Well, your photography, your shots are beautiful. You have such a unique perspective when it comes to shots, like some of your angles, and your color grading, all of that. Like it's beautiful. And I'm so actually honored to ride with you in Bear Creek. It was in fall.
That was in Paul, yeah.
2022. That was in fall. I remember Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Beautiful weekend. We were like very lucky. I don't know if it's like that at Bear Creek often.
In the fall it is. Like that's
Is
my
it?
favorite
Okay.
time to ride there. It's gorgeous and we get a little bit of rain, so it keeps the dust down. The rest of the
Yeah.
time we're dusty.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. You and I connected and you took us on like a really rad ride. And yeah, you took some photos of my gal pal Shannon and I, and it was like my favorite photos by far.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Okay, but I wanted to let's go back and you were talking about daycare.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Daycare in Kelowna is like really tough to find. I've been on wait lists like since Lily was born.
Right.
And I think I've heard from like one of those places that I was on, and I'm probably on like, I don't know, 50 to 100 wait lists.
Yeah.
Um, and I got lucky. My friends decided that basically they weren't going to go back to work, and she wanted to kind of open like a little in-home daycare.
Mhm.
And then she went back to school for a bit and things kind of changed there. They got their daughter in part-time, and like financially, because he gets so many different subsidies and stuff from the government, it didn't make sense for them to keep operating the at-home daycare full-time. So I lost 2 days a week, which I couldn't even find like 2 days a week in
Yeah.
Kelowna. It was
Yeah.
just insane. So
I was gonna say
I
two
was
days is
fighting.
like a lot already. You take that
I
away.
know. And I was like fighting and fighting and fighting to find daycare from January to March. And then I don't know what happened. I think I just got to a point where I was like, do I really want to stay at my job this bad? Like I'd kind of been, things have been changing around there for a little while. And yeah, I kind of just, I don't want to say I gave up, but I decided that maybe like finding daycare, this was just my opportunity to spend more time with Lily and do what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And then once I was just kind of at peace with that and stopped fighting for it, I was like, okay, this is good. Like it was a good decision, and we settled into that. And Miles was like Mr. Supportive the whole time. I'm so lucky to have him because he was just
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? You don't even want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it took me a while to see the light, but I think everyone else saw it before I did.
It's hard. That's a very hard um I guess like journey or when you're navigating from like working to all of a sudden like nothing like outside of work, nothing's working.
Yeah.
Like the daycare is not there. I don't know if you have family. I don't have family around, so that's like out of the option. So you really have to like outweigh, okay, what's more important in this season of life,
Yeah, totally.
right?
And we had that discussion a few times, and Miles is like, Lily's such a perfect age. Like, let's just see what happens and spend the time with her. And he was like, you don't want to be here in 5 years, which I knew too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to work for big corporate entities for the rest of my life. I knew that. I've always wanted to do my own thing.
Mhm.
It was just kind of a matter of timing. So it was, I don't know, it was a little bit of a push that I needed in the right direction, I guess.
A blessing in disguise sometimes. Yeah, for
Totally.
sure.
And
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
been so good. It's been awesome.
And I'm sure you have a little bit more freedom too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's funny for someone that I'm like, I'm gonna have more time to do things. I definitely don't.
Right.
You're really good at filling that time. So
It's true. But I'm sure you and I are very similar and like we just can't really sit still. Like we still need to like be doing something and being a mom at the same time. So
yeah,
our calendars can fill up pretty quickly.
yeah. I think now that instead of just having like work blocked off, I have like 46 different things, which is it's fine. It
Yeah,
works good. So
totally.
I love
Totally.
it. I still have my dedicated kind of work days. So
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And, another thing too is like something that, like, I guess for me, what I worked through, like Billy, she just turned 4. So, been very lucky that, Kenny, my husband, said same thing, very supportive. Like, we were, in the pandemic, couldn't go back to work. And then all of a sudden, things opened up, but we were in the transition of moving, and same thing, like now in Pemberton, there's no daycare.
Yeah.
Or you had to be on the wait list, and we're new to town. And I just thought if I could figure something out and like work from home, like that's like the best goal or the best thing for me right now. And then like Billy is going to start school. So both the girls are going to be in school. So that like ties up some time, you know what I mean? Like I just only have 1 year left with Billy, and she's my last. Like I'm not having any more kids. So you got to enjoy, like kind of pick your, what's the word I'm trying to look for? But you just got to make things work for the time being, because these little ones are only going to be little for so long.
Totally. And like I'm so glad we've had the best summer. We hang out every Tuesday and Thursday. And like she always asks me, she's like, is it a mommy day or a daycare day? Aww. And it gives me like the freedom to take off, and my parents are a couple hours away. So it gives me the freedom to go take off and see them, or take her to see her other grandparents. So I think it's been like beneficial to everyone, her and like my family, and everyone gets to spend more time with her. So
oh, that's so awesome. That's so great. And one of the topics I'm glad we touched on that, because again, navigating motherhood and then your sports and then your business. But before we dive into the other topic, is I saw Lily. Was she on a KTM Stasic or Stasic?
Yeah, she's on a little 12-inch KTM Stasic, and I just got her the 16.
Okay.
So she's like moving up fast, and then she just got a PW50 too, but she hasn't ridden that yet.
Okay. But like she's already using the throttle. Like she's like already knows what to do.
Yeah, it's wild. We started her last year. So she was just under 2. Yeah, she was just under 2. And we put training wheels on her Stasic, even though they're like, I don't know, you're not really supposed to do that. But we wanted her to get comfortable with throttle control before she had to worry about balance. She was already like riding a strider, so we knew she had it, but we wanted to separate the two kind of skills.
Mm-hmm.
So Miles made like these ridiculous training wheels for it, and she just learned throttle control. And then it was like a couple months, and she was off to the races, no training wheels, and
right.
She cruises on that little thing. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. I saw the video and I thought, oh, how rad. We've been thinking about getting something like that for Billy, because she's on the 50, like a Honda 50, and with training wheels. But they're heavy, and like the training wheels, if it's uneven ground, she like tips so easily. I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things where like, do we want to? Because she is she might be moving up to something else pretty quickly, but yeah. But yeah, you recommend.
It's such a cool. I do. It's such a cool learning tool, just because it's a little bit lighter, and they're not afraid of it. Like she drops it and it's just like picking up her bicycle, right? So
for sure. Yes.
I wish I had that as a kid. It's so cool.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, it's like these kids are so lucky. They have no idea.
I know. I think about the things that I had to do sports when I was younger, and I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, well, that's really cool. And I love seeing that you can do something like dirt biking together with your daughter. And the more years that come, the more you're going to be exploring, and Bear Creek. Oh my gosh, Bear Creek is West Kelowna, correct? West Kelowna?
West Kelowna, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful area. Absolutely. Like, it's my favorite place to ride and like camp out, do the family dirt biking, camping. And that's somewhere that you ride all the time.
Yeah, we're so lucky. It's half an hour door to door for me.
Wow.
And we like pretty much only ever camp there. It's kind of comical.
Yeah. But yeah, I would do the exact same thing. Like it's just beautifully maintained. They have such a great kids area, like zone area as well, which is like a huge win in my books.
It is. It's awesome. And like everything is pretty visible. So you can kind of just stand in the middle and they can rip around. Like they did a good job with that kids track redesign, and they just put one over at the other campsite as well.
Oh,
It's
did they
been
really?
up there. So now there's one
Actually,
at Burke and there's one at Aspen.
oh, they did. Okay, because I think the one up top, now I don't know the zones very well, but I did notice that there were kids doing a loop somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be it then. I
Yeah.
guess.
So that's called the Burke campsite.
Burke. Okay.
It's worth
Okay.
camping up there too. It's nice. It's a little quieter.
Okay. It's so funny because we always stick to the like 1, 2, 3 sites.
Yeah. They're your
But
favorite. So good.
yeah, but also it's just because it's so close to that little kids campground that we just
Yeah.
walk over.
And we prefer it too, just for the kids area is better at the main lot, but
Yeah.
both are still pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
for
say the
sure.
Burke one's like a little more advanced, shorter, but a little harder.
There, yeah, okay. It's funny, the last time, when did we go? I want to say it was May long weekend,
Yeah.
and there were these kids on like maybe a pink quad. And I don't know how old they were, like 9 or 10,
Yeah.
ripping and like gapping these like little jumps. I thought that they built this like little loop, but clearly it's probably been in the works of building something for the kids up there, but it definitely felt like more of an advanced thing. Like I don't think I would take at least Billy there. Maybe Stella I would, but
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like an older kid thing.
Yeah, some of it. Like the sanctioned one is like brand new. It's only been up there for I'd say this season.
Okay.
But there was definitely like little trails through the trees that I know my friends' kids would be like gapping their e-bikes off of. And
No way.
yeah, they're wild. Some of those 10, 11-year-olds are just put me to shame. I
Yeah, yeah, I know. No fear, hey. That's how I feel most
think
of the
I have
time.
like 4 years till Lily's faster than me. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. So cool. So cool. Well, you know what we didn't talk about is actually what are you riding now?
I ride a what am I on? A 2021 300 XCW. I just bought that this year because I
Oh,
had
you
a
did.
2019 300 XCW.
Okay, because again, we also had a conversation maybe a couple years ago or a year ago about you were on a 150 before and
Yeah.
you quickly jumped to 300.
Yeah, I went what did I do? My first bike ever was a 125L, just a Yamaha.
Mhm.
I actually didn't want a dirt bike.
Oh, okay.
I was like a diehard mountain biker before I moved to Kelowna.
No
Um,
way. Okay.
yeah, I
Cool.
used to do like the whole Whistler Pass and downhill, and I moved up here and I didn't really have like a summer hobby anymore.
Mhm.
Just because I didn't have friends that rode up here. I didn't really have any friends. I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
So my mountain bike kind of sat for like a year, and then it was my birthday, and Miles came home with that 125. And I was like, what is this? Like, you're gonna teach me how to dirt bike? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna. And I think it took me like 3 weeks. And we can ride from our house here. Like, I'm super lucky where I live in West Kelowna. It's not the greatest riding. It's actually like it's fairly advanced. But there's some logging roads and some stuff that you can get on just to like start. And he took me out there on the 125, and it took me 3 weeks. And I went out and I bought a brand new 150 XCW.
Sorry, what was your husband or partner's name?
Miles.
Miles. Okay, so he came home with a 125.
Yeah, he came home with 125 and convinced me to start riding and was just like, let's go try it. Made me go buy gear. And it took 3 weeks. And then I was like, okay, I like this. And I went down and I bought a brand new 150 XCW.
Okay.
So
So what yeah, obviously there's a huge difference between the 125 and the 150.
yeah.
The 125, was it like the YZ?
Uh what was it? Oh God, I can't even remember. Whatever their trail bike is.
Oh, okay, a
Four-stroke
WR
125.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But still, like, and it was a 4-stroke? Are those 4-strokes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-stroke, big wheel,
Yeah, yeah.
smaller bike, right?
Yeah.
He was really adamant. He wanted me to be able to touch flat-footed.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, the WR 125 big wheel, heavy, but
Yeah.
you could touch the ground.
Yeah,
And then
I'm pretty tall though, so
yeah, then the 150 XCW,
yeah.
but then you quickly went to a 300.
Yeah, and then it was like I think I rode the 150 probably a season and a half.
Okay.
And I was having a hard time on this hill climb behind our house. And it's like super sandy and it's just loose, shaly,
Yeah.
dusty. It's gross back there. Um, and I jumped on Miles's 300 and I motored up it and I was just like, oh no, like that just cost me a lot of money. And then I
Yeah.
haven't looked back. I've had two 300s since then. So
Oh, crazy. I must say that's something, yeah, the same thing. Like here, our trails are they're not like greens by any means. So they're all like very steep, sandy, lots of roots, rocks, that sort of thing. And I got the 150. It was climbing better than my little 105
yeah.
SX. But then, like I still struggled and I was like, okay, it's just me because like this is just how it is. And then it wasn't until I rode with a bunch of girls that had 300. So like a beta 300, a 300 XC, 300 XCW, and they're beginner riders.
Yeah.
And they climbed up all these hills, no struggles, nothing. And I was just like, what is happening right now? Like they needed to help me like
Yeah.
push my bike up. And yeah, anyways, it's so funny with all these different bikes, but they are like those 300 XCWs do give you that low end power to climb anything at basically any speed.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely got sucked into like the 150 is what the girls should ride. And
Mm-hmm.
then the more I kind of realized, I was like, a 150 doesn't make it easier. Like it's 20 pounds lighter, but that doesn't matter if you're dropping it twice as often.
What's so funny too? I really wish like I did do my research and the consensus was the 150,
Yeah.
you know. But I rode with a friend and he told me that he almost wants to go to a 150 just to make things hard for him.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I get like a little nitpicky about this and funny because it's like I had the 150, I have the 300. Um, and I rode both like fairly extensively. And you get these people that have never ridden a 300 and they'll like argue with you. And they're like, no, 150 is the bike we should be on. It makes us better riders.
Hmm.
And I'm like, it does. It teaches you more clutch control. But then I'm like, does your husband ride a 300 because it makes it harder for him?
Yeah. I think
Like,
I think you're right on that. I think
or
well
why is
one
it enjoyable, right?
and that's just it, like why fight with something
Yeah.
if it's just going to be easier with that extra power or that extra lug or whatever, like there's just and that's what I'm all about is like making things as easy as possible so that there is no fight, there is no struggle. And I lack in height. I'm under 5 feet. So my issue was okay, the 150 seems manageable, but I almost wish that I did just jump to a 300 because I wouldn't have known
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah.
And I would
Which
have
I
just got used to the 300, got used to the weight,
yeah.
how heavy it was, because I wouldn't have known the 150.
Yeah. And like the 150 is an awesome bike.
Mm-hmm.
And like Miles could jump on that thing and just whale it. Like he had so much fun on it. And I think it
Mm-hmm.
is a good bike for people that are in the power band that are riding fast.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you're riding slower, like sorry, a lot of us girls are slower.
Yeah.
Um, if you're riding slower and you need just power on the hills, like the 300 just tractors through everything.
Yeah,
Like
I
I think the 150 is an awesome bike, but you have to ride it how it's meant to be ridden. And it's not meant to be ridden like a 300. So
yeah. I 100% agree. And it's funny because not that I complain a lot, but I'm always like, hey, I don't understand why I can't get this. Like, I work very hard on these drills. And then my husband will just jump on it and do whatever it is I'm trying to do, like perfectly. But
yeah.
I also think, like, well, one, he's like quite a bit taller than me and heavier than me. And like he just can get that bike to do whatever it he
Yeah.
wants. More of aggressive rider, whereas I'm very like soft, maybe. Maybe I just need to be more aggressive. I don't
We
know.
just have fears. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
deal with the toddler tomorrow if we break our arm.
Well, and I think that's also another thing too, behind the scenes, like, yeah, we're moms. We can't just like send it and like come home broken
Yeah.
because people, little ones, depend on us.
Yes, they do. And they
Yeah.
will not stop depending on us.
Yeah. 100%. So tell me, are you like, how often do you get to ride? Um, Again, navigating like motherhood and business and all the things.
Um, I used to be out like probably twice, 3 times a week
Okay.
before having Lily.
Yeah.
Uh, Now I'm probably right now it's been a little slower. I've just had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Now I probably ride once every 2 weeks, so not as
Okay.
much as I'd like to, but in fall I'll definitely be picking that back up. So
Yeah.
it's been a hectic couple months here for us.
It's like that for summer though.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was we kind of had one of those like everything hit at once seasons. It was I quit my job and then we converted our suite to an Airbnb. We went on holiday and then starting up my photography business. So like it's been rowdy.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Well, you'll get out for fall, and fall's like a better time. And if it doesn't, like, it rains quite a bit here. So if it doesn't rain as much,
Yeah.
then you'll be able to get out and ride.
Yeah, I'm excited. September, October is like my favorite riding anyways, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for sure. I love the cooler weather. Actually, okay, no, before we move on, I just wanted to talk a little bit about photography. Um, and if there was, so I'm, yeah, very techie. I love techie stuff. And I do think that it's important to get to know either your phones, cameras, and that sort of thing for content creation. It's just something I'm very passionate about. But if there is anyone that's listening that's, wants to be a photographer, videographer, or content creators themselves, do you have any advice or tips and tricks that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, I started with like a pretty basic camera. So I think number one thing is start with what you can afford.
Mhm.
But definitely do your research. But some of the really affordable options these days, like it's incredible what you can get for tech. And you can make some really amazing content with some of these cameras that are coming out. And some of them are like $500-$600.
Yeah.
You don't need to spend $3,000-$5,000 on your first camera.
Mhm.
My first camera was an A6300 that I think I spent $800 on.
Yeah.
I do think it's important to learn something with interchangeable lenses for what that's worth. And I think you can go so many different directions. Like you can be someone who's super into the actual photography side of it. I know some people that are like, I'm a super big tech nerd. Like I love getting different lenses and trying different things out and different bodies. But I know other people that honestly take amazing photos and have like no idea half the functions of their camera.
Mhm.
But their focus is like more the composition and learning to shoot. So I think it looks different for everyone, and like you can learn everything off YouTube that you need to know these days. It's a constant learning process, and find what you enjoy, I guess is what I would say. Find what you enjoy and just keep practicing that, and the rest of it will kind of come.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, well, we are going to shift gears to Bear Creek's Ladies Ride Campout. You are the organizer for it, and I want to talk about it. I want to know all the details, when it is, where people can come to and learn more.
Okay. Basically it happens in September. So September 16th, 17th weekend we have it.
Mhm.
We kind of schedule for about 75 ladies. So if you're thinking of coming, there's your tip to buy a ticket. They do sell out. Every year they sell out. And what we do is it's a whole weekend long event. I try to get away from just like the standard fun ride. I want to make sure that people get a chance to socialize and like meet their own group of friends. So what we do is we do a whole weekend. You come out, we have the option for a clinic. So we get a couple local girls to teach clinics, and like they're awesome. So we have an intermediate clinic and a beginner clinic. The focus is to make those like affordable. We want it to be accessible. I know some clinics can be upwards of like $300, $400, $500 for a day. So we just try and make it accessible. We pay the coaches, and we make it's like $75 to add on to your ticket. And that's a 4-hour clinic, and they'll take you out, teach you either beginner skills and drills, or intermediate. They'll go out and do cornering and logs. And if you know Michelle Dumaresque, she's like an awesome teacher. Then in the afternoon, we do like a big fun ride. We split off into groups. Usually there's we have an A, usually 2 B groups, maybe 3, just because there's so many B riders up here.
Yeah.
And then we do a C group. So there's every level is covered, and we have guides and we have sweeps. We bring the guys along so they can help us.
Yeah, totally.
I always ask them, I'm like, hey, do you want to come pick up chicks for the day? I mean,
and I'm sure they're so happy.
They're so excited until they realize they're literally picking up chicks for the day.
Yeah.
And their bikes. So
yeah,
it's a super like safe and fun environment. And I want to make sure it's non-competitive always. I just want like everyone to come out and try something new is always my goal. I always tell people, like, if you're not sure if you should be in C or B, like try the B group. Because this is your chance to move up, and you have the support. And we usually have enough people that if you're falling down, you're like, I'm hating every second of this, someone will take you back. So we try and just plan it to be like accessible and fun, and a chance for everyone to like try something new, move up that new level, do a little bit of progression, or like whatever you're comfortable with. Or if you just want to ride with your friends, like that's totally cool too. And then after the ride, we do dinner. And I always try and do something kind of special for dinner. I just think that events deserve better than Costco hot dogs.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Firm believer that food really helps the experience of an event. And so I always try and get something kind of special going on for dinner. Last year we had tacos, which was awesome. We had like a sweet potato taco and pulled pork and good chicken, like good tacos.
Amazing. And there's nothing better, like you said, there's nothing better than eating good food after like a pretty big day of riding.
Yeah. And I want to make sure like everyone comes back and they feel good and they like have a full meal, and then we hang out around the bonfire. And we kind of book off like the whole campsite. We kind of take over for the weekend. So it's really fun. Big bonfire. And then Sunday morning we wake up and we serve everyone a big pancake breakfast, which again is super fun. We get berries and whipped cream and the whole shebang.
Nice.
And then we put on our riding gear and we do some like slow races and some drills and games. And then we kind of just let everyone go for the afternoon if they want to ride more, if they need to take off and get back to wherever they live. But it's a load of fun. And then we do kind of prizes and stuff after that, and we get some really good sponsors on board. It's a lot of fun to host. It's really cool to see like how much the community has changed and grown. Yeah, it's a great event. I really like hosting it, and I try to find something fun and new to do every year. So we'll see what we come up with.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so you said that there are tickets. Where can we buy our tickets?
So you got to go to OkanaganTrailRiders.com.
Okay.
So that's the Bear Creek page, or you can follow our Facebook, which is Bear Creek OHV.
Okay.
And then I try and post some links out on there. The tickets are not under events, because that would be too easy. They are where you buy the season's passes on the website. So just in our storefront. So if anyone's clicking around looking for them, that's where those are located.
Okay. Good note.
Need to go.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm just so full of dust.
So good. Okay, great. Well, that's very, very exciting. I might be able to come. So I will be.
So.
Yeah, I'll be booking some tickets if I can, cross my fingers, if I can make things work. But I'm just curious, how long have you been putting on this event?
Last year was the first year we did like the big camp out.
Okay.
Before then, so like before I had Lily, I would guide the rides. I used to guide just the B loop, and kind of help out, because all we really did before that was the ladies' ride, was just to meet up in the parking lot, go for a ride, guided ride, and then come back. So this is our second weekend one.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, yeah, I'm pretty sure I came up then we were camping, and then I saw that there was a ladies' ride, or
Yeah.
maybe it was happening the following weekend, and I thought, oh, if I would have timed it right. So it feels like it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, like the actual ladies' rides we've had, I mean, probably 5 years
Yeah,
longer, but
yeah,
they were
yeah.
just pretty casual, like meet in the parking lot, go for a ride, have some guides, have some
Yeah.
Costco hot dogs.
I don't know. There's something about like a weekend camp out event specific for women,
Yeah,
like, yeah.
it's different because I think it's really important that everyone has like their group of people to ride with. And
Hmm.
I was really lucky. I kind of stumbled upon mine like accidentally. And I just met a group of friends and we all rode together from kind of then on. But I think that's hard to find for some people. And so I really want to encourage like not just riding, but hanging out with the people that you rode with that day. And I want to see people make those new friendships and like have new people to go riding with after the weekend is really important to me. So that's why I try and encourage everyone to like stick around and have fun and eat some food, hang out at a bonfire.
Yeah. Like you said, build those connections, networking. You and I share the same values and the same passion. And that's something that I believe in so much is when you have a solid like crew, when you find your people, they're like your people and that you can ride with, you can like build your skills with and progress with, And you mentioned it's very hard to find these days. Like you really have to put yourself out there. And that's why these events are so important, is because that one woman who's like very intimidated, because this is a very intimidating sport,
Mm-hmm.
right? All of a sudden, like signs up, so nervous if they're by themselves. But then they're exposed to so many other people. And then that's just it. It's like finding your crew, making those connections, and then you want to see them ride together after.
Yeah, exactly. That's like all of it. And it's finding people that are the same level as you and like the same
Mhm.
stoke level as you too is it just helps you so much.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I can't agree anymore. Like that is, yeah, that's what these events are all about. And something that I know it's with sledding, but when I started Brat Babe social rides, it was just that. It was like for me, actually, like I started it so I can meet more people because I was stoked on the sport. I wanted to just learn how to load and unload my sled. Same thing with dirt biking, just like let's spend an hour or two, let's hang out. That's my favorite time. And let's figure this out together.
Yeah,
Because again, like for me, and it might be the same for you, is we have kids at home. So I don't get to ride with my partner that often. I have to be independent and know how to do these things on my own. But the best way for me to be independent is learning those skills with another riding partner so that we can like do it together.
totally. It yeah, and like to learn female to female too, I find really helps.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
don't think I'm a pretty firm believer that most people should not be taught how to ride by their spouse.
Yes.
I'm very lucky. Mine is a very good teacher, but I think it's best to learn from your peers.
I was gonna say it doesn't matter though. Like it's still better to have like, I don't know, just learning from somebody else sometimes, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you pretty much gave us like a big rundown of the event of Bear Creek. Again, I know I mentioned this earlier, but Bear Creek OHV is like such a beautiful, vast amount of trails. Like it's very big. There's so much out there. There's very like green beginner trails. And if you want to get technical, they have that as well. Um, Very well groomed. And yeah, is there anything that you want to highlight for Bear Creek as well?
Um, I mean, if you haven't been, you gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I agree.
like it's all like it's run by the government. So like we have government campsites there. Um, and like, we're supported by the government, which is very unique.
Mhm.
And I think it's just the reason I want to be a part of it is I think that it's important to kind of foster those relationships and be a good example of dirt biking areas that we're not just a bunch of road trails in the wood. Like it's allowed, it's approved. We work with the logging companies too, to make sure that if they're logging in the area that the trails are restored.
Mhm.
It's just an awesome area to be a part of, and it's something new, and I hope we see more of it in the province.
Mhm.
Um, we need to protect our dirt biking areas, and I know that everyone likes their favorite like backyard hardcore trail, but that could be gone in a second.
Mhm.
And we've seen it in areas here where like hikers move into the area and start putting up signs, and now it's a hiking area and you're the bad guy. So I think to just have like a dedicated dirt bike area that it's not only allowed, it's encouraged. This is what it is. Like it's amazing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we should just really kind of keep that going and not forget how lucky we are.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you nailed it. I think buying the memberships, donating when you can to these areas because like like you said, it takes a lot of work to restore some of those trails and just to like even the maintenance. Like I'm curious, do people go out and yeah, clean up all those trails because holy moly, like they are so nice.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. The community does a lot of it. The club does pay for people to do maintenance. Like we have
Yeah.
people that get paid to go out and cut new trails. We have people that get paid to go out and fix bridges. And even for those paid positions, like it's hard to find people. So if
Mhm.
someone has an interest in that, hit us up.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I really am so excited that we got to talk a little bit more about you, motherhood, photography, and the Bear Creeks Ladies Campout Ride. And I just appreciate you coming on here and sharing all of that with us. So thank you.
Yeah.
And where can everyone follow you? And then also maybe just mention again where women can book in for those tickets.
Yeah. You can find all the tickets and all the Bear Creek info. The Facebook is Bear Creek OHV. Um, if you follow that Facebook page, you'll get all the info you need. And then we're also on Instagram. I think we're Bear Creek OHV on there as well. The Okanagan Trailriders.com is the website. So www.okanagantrailriders.com. That's where you can purchase your tickets, your memberships, day passes. If you ever come up there, we also have on site, you can buy your annual pass and day passes. You can pay card or cash. Um, so that's really handy. And I do encourage you, if you come up, definitely buy the pass. It helps us out huge, helps
Yeah.
us put that money back into the trail system. And for me, you can find me on Instagram. My page is at caro.geno.
All good. Well, I will link all of those in the show notes and in the description over here on YouTube in our podcast. So, thank you so much again. I really do appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. It's been so much fun. And honestly, I'll let you know. I'll message you if I can make things work. And
Yeah,
maybe I can help out if you need it, or I'll have fun either way.
whatever you want to do. If you want to just come have fun, I totally get it too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think I might be able to come without the girls. So that would be ideal. If I
Yeah,
do come with the girls, then I won't be riding, but I could maybe help out in the
yeah,
background.
whatever you need.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Awesome.
have you. So
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Enjoy your day, and I will talk to you again soon.
yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.